Good afternoon, friends. Today I'll give a book review of one quite an interesting, readable, and enjoyable book. Anyone could read and find it. And the book is Surviving Men: A Woman's Guide to Staying on Top by no, not a person of one of not some unknown author, but a great Shobha Day. It's really interesting. But before I give a review of the book or talk about the book, I shall talk about the author. There are very few ladies, don't think there are very few women who are so fortunate as Shobha Day is, I suppose. She Shobha Day has had the best of everything a woman can ever wish for or desire for. She was a daughter of a commissioner of police, ravishingly beautiful of her times, two rich husbands, with a French diplomat sandwiched between them, editor of three renowned journals, an author of 10 books, and each book making it to the list of bestsellers at the time of its publication. Now in her 70s, living in a considerable, pleasurable splendor in a large apartment in Mumbai with her second husband and six children, his, hers, and theirs, something like friend Nasiruddin Shah. So she's a kind of sorpass you would think of spewing venom in a long, bitchy thesis on why all men are bad. This is what this book is all about. Surviving Men, the women's guide to staying on top. She feels that all men right. She writes that all men are bad. But this is perfectly what she has done in her book, Surviving Men. The theme of I would say, the smart woman, she says smart woman's guide or staying on top. It is the first non-fiction book she has attempted of all her books. And she has written the theme, maintaining the similar theme of all of her other books, and that is sex. Sex is the theme of all his novels. Sex with obscene four-letter words strewn liberally across every page. She also makes the most outrageous statement on male chauvinism. You have to read it to believe what I'm telling you. Now, friends, today let us examine some of Day's assertions made in the book. She says, she writes actually that sex appeal lies in the wallet of a beholder. This may be of some truth. There may be some truth in that. We have always read at so many places. And we have been told always it's the money that makes the mare go. But, my friend, it applies equally to men and women, not exclusively to men. If a fat, rich man is more attractive to a woman than a handsome pauper, so is a marathon loaded with matron, you see, loaded with diamonds more attractive to a man than a pretty Cinderella to tattered rags. Day goes on to assert that men should pay more attention to their teeth and oral hygiene. Bad breath, she claims, it kills romance. Couples who floss together, she writes, they stay together. Interesting. She writes, and I somehow I go along with that. She's pretty right. You have to smell better. You have to be extra conscious and careful about your oral hygiene if you want to be romantic. Bad breath is repulsive. She may be right about men being unsure of their potency in middle age. But so are women, beset with fears of losing their looks after menopause. Are men more mean than women? Beautiful. Or have less feeling than them? Shobha thinks so. Exactly according to her, men have a much feeling as dogs or earthworms. Hmm. What draws them towards women is their smell, not the perfume they wear, but their body odor, which is like Chinese sweet and sour dishes. What men like about women is not their looks, but their availability, she claims. Most men, she writes, are unfaithful to their wives or mistresses. And she writes repeatedly, she asserts on this point. This will play according to the rules of marriage. They all will play till they discover the unadulterated joys of adultery. How then can women love men? That's a big question. She feels women cannot love men at all. It is easier to love dogs, she writes, and even plants, but to love men. Men in love are tiresome, she believes. Another myth she seeks to explore is that couples who sleep together, they stay together. She advises separate bedrooms, bathrooms, and vacations. Think, my friend, how many Indians, how many of us can afford such luxury? But Shobha says, she maintains that there is no such thing as a platonic relationship between men and women. The only person ever to believe in platonic relationship was Plato himself and nobody else. Money, and more than money, power, she says, makes men irresistible to women. She quotes people, she writes their name. She says Rajiv Gandhi, despite his good looks and power, did not pass her test. He failed in Shobha Day's tests, as he was a softy with spaniel's eyes, he's right. Wow, what an observation. To evoke a woman's admiration, she feels a leader has to inspire fear. And Rajiv Gandhi failed to do so, and hence lacked sex appeal, she writes. On the other hand, she writes Muhammad Ali Jinnah, because he was stern, aroused women much more. Bill Clinton passed Shobha Day's test with flying colors. And she describes beautifully. You love to read it and go through. She writes and asserts that all men are, of course, mother fixated. Shobha advises women never to take on their mother in laws. They will always lose the battle. However, she grudgingly concedes that women needs men. She advises her sister to treat them like donkeys with carrot and sticks. All the She feels that all the men want. She advises her sisters, all other women, that all men want is food, booze, and sex in that specific order. When he becomes too obstinate, whenever a man becomes too obstinate, say no, and he will come around begging with his tail between his legs. My friend, this is Shobha Day for you. Read one of her novels. You could do without fear. You got to read to believe what I'm saying. Thank you very much.